Hi guys, it's Miss 2S. I just wanted to drop you a video about chemical formulas because it's going to be really important as we move through the rest of this week as well as moving into next week that you understand what is a chemical formula, why is it written that way, and what does it mean. Okay, so let me start this. This is a picture of the periodic table. All right, there's 118 elements on the periodic table. Each one of them is unique. And you'll notice that each one of them has their own name, there's numbers, so on and so forth. This is essentially what we're going to be talking about. Okay, so we're going to be referring back to this and using this to understand chemical formulas. All right, a chemical formula has two parts. Okay, chemical formula has two parts. It has the element symbol, and that comes from the periodic table, and it has a subscript. And the subscript represents the number of atoms of the previous element. So obviously this one's pretty straightforward. We've only got one capital letter, therefore there's only one element involved. This too can only be talking about this hydrogen atom, okay, this hydrogen. So therefore, if we were to draw a molecule or we could see them really, really close up, it would be a hydrogen atom bonded to another hydrogen atom, okay? It would be two H's. What if we see just a capital C? This is for carbon. There is no subscript. That means that there is only one atom of carbon. Now, I get this a lot of times. Students are like, well, why can't we put the one? We don't have to, because just like in math, when we see that we have X, we know that this is one X. We don't need to write the one because it's, essentially implied. We wouldn't have the X written there if we didn't have at least one of them. So that's why we do not need to write the subscript of one when we only have one of that element, okay? This is also really important that you notice this about all the elements on the periodic table. If an element only has one letter in its symbol, like most of these guys along the top, whoops, excuse me, and a few of them that are spaced throughout, that letter is always capitalized. If you have an element that has more than one symbol, for example, copper right here, the first letter is always capitalized and the second letter is always going to be lowercase. So if you see a formula and you only see capital letters, that means that you are only dealing with the number of elements. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples because it's kind of confusing without being able to see what's going on, okay? So is this an atom or a molecule? So what you're going to do is you're going to look for the number of capital letters. Whoops. Oh my goodness, my pen is going crazy. Sorry. You're going to look for the number of capital letters. In this case, we got a capital C and a capital H. Therefore, we have two elements. We have carbon and hydrogen. Therefore, this must be a molecule of some kind. At this point, you don't need to know exactly what this means, but you do need to understand that two capital letters means more than one type of element. That means it's a molecule, okay? To decode this 4 right here, this 4 refers to the number of hydrogens. So there is one carbon and there are 4 hydrogen atoms in this molecule, okay? Another one, let's see if I can erase this here. Haha, there we go. So again, we're looking for the number of capital letters. This is a capital letter and this is a capital letter. So again, we have 2 capital letters, meaning 2 elements, and that means that this is a molecule. How many nitrogens do we have? We have 1 nitrogen. How many oxygens do we have? Well, we have this subscript, and it's right after the oxygen atom, which means this 2 refers to the oxygen, so there are 2 oxygen atoms. Last one, is this an atom or a molecule? I only see 1 capital letter. That means that this is all the symbol for an element. I see no subscript, which means this must be an atom, okay? So hopefully this helps. Go ahead and do the next part of the assignment. Shoot me an email if you have any questions. See you next time.